Hey guys, Cody from Southeast Softwash. It's Wednesday. We're getting into the spring. A lot of guys are kind of getting up and running coming out of the winter time. And I can tell that a lot of people are having problems, not just our customers, but everybody. And this is an annual thing. A lot of the root cause of what's going on, I can just tell because of the massive influx of troubleshooting calls that we've gotten over the last 2 weeks. So here's my theory, and I think I'm right. It's wintertime, right? A lot of stuff doesn't get winterized properly. And so we get a lot of little hairline cracks in our suction side of our systems. May not be able to really see them. They're really small. Just get little gremlins from the freeze, right? So things expand, things contract. And then when we get it out in the spring, try to start using it, or maybe our first few jobs, we're having a lot of performance issues. Now, the good news is they're easy fixes. The bad news is sometimes they can be hard to locate so that you can do the fix. So in this video, we're going to show you one of my favorite techniques to kind of isolate and see, you know, what is going on. Because here's the number one thing that most guys go to: my pump's bad, something's wrong with my pump. Most of the time, the pump is okay. So let's go into this video. I'm going to show you a quick, cheap, free way to see, is your pump bad, is your electrical bad, or is it in the suction side of your system? So we need to be able to isolate which of those three kind of groups of this skid, or if you got a trailer, if you built it yourself, doesn't really matter. But what are we going to try to work on so we don't spend a whole morning or a whole afternoon working on stuff that's not broke? So we'll pause the video and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so before we get into this video too far, I want you to go down to the first link in the description and also the first pinned comment. We have a class that we do right here in my building once a month. Myself and Aaron Parker from Lean and Mean Academy. What's up, Aaron? We do a 2-day event. It's called Serious Starter Bootcamp. You learn a whole bunch of stuff like this: how to keep your systems going, how to actually go out and wash and make money, and then on Aaron's side of the house, how to keep yourself booked through internet marketing, digital advertising, all that kind of stuff. So we've got some slots left for this week. I know it's last minute, it's Wednesday, but if you guys are local, if you can get down here, we do have a few chairs left open. The link will be in the comments and in the description. You can go over there and book a ticket. We'd love to see you this weekend. So let's test this system now. Nothing is wrong right now. Everything's working as it should. We've got all three of our valves: water, surfactant, and bleach. Now there's just water in the system right now because this is a brand new unit headed out to a customer next week. Let's fire it up and see what kind of distance we're getting out of this Softwash system. Okay, and I know that's about right. That's what we should be getting. We test them all the time, and we kind of know about where they should be landing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is simulate an air leak in the system. Now, there's a lot of ways you could get an air leak. You could actually have an empty tank, which oddly happens a lot. We get guys that call and they just have an empty tank. The easiest way for me to simulate an air leak is just to pull the suction lines here out of the tank. We'll stick them up in the air on the surfactant tank. That's the easiest one to get to. It could be up here on the bulkhead for the water tank. It could be up here on the bulkhead. You can't see it for the bleach tank. Some of these hose clamps may have shifted. We've actually seen cracked bulkheads, and these are really thick-walled banjo bulkheads, but still, they're a couple years old, sitting in the sunlight, they get brittle, they may crack. It could be any of these connection points on the blend manifold. And so what usually happens is a guy gets an air leak, he don't want to try to figure it out, and so he just says, hey, I need a new pump, and he changes the pump out, and nothing is any better. So let's watch the performance difference now that we've simulated an air leak here in our system. Trucks are really loud out here on the highway. Aha! We just lost performance. Massive drop, because once it started trying to run and it sucked that big pocket of air up, it cannot prime. Okay, so how could we begin the troubleshooting process? Well, the easiest thing to do is just start isolating valves. Cut 2 of them off, leave 1 of them on, and see if it'll run. All right, listen to the pump. It's trying, pulling that air out, getting some performance back, and okay, cool. So it's not that line. We can tell by the distance that we're spraying that it's not that one. Okay, so we know that one's fine. And we could just start opening valves one at a time to kind of see, when we open the next valve, does our problem come back? If you can't figure it out through that method, because you may have some minor hairline cracks in some of these check valves from a freeze, here's another way you can do it. We'll pause the video. I'm going to show you a trick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so here's my little trick. If you just can't isolate it, it's just whooping your butt, and you can't figure out what's going on, here's something you can do that will 100% tell you if it's a pump issue, an electrical issue, batteries aren't charged, whatever, or if it's in your mixing system. So on these pumps, these quick connect style pumps, this is a lot easier if you have the traditional threaded barbs, which are going to be sealed, you know, screw in type barbs. It's still doable, but it's going to be a little more aggravating because you got to take these clamps off, heat the hose up with a lighter or a heat gun or something. If you don't have a heat gun on your truck, a lighter will also work, just so you can get the hose off the barb. So the quick connect style makes it a lot simpler. We're just going to take our pocket knife, right? We're American males, we should have a pocket knife. Anything will work, a screwdriver, get in there and pop that tab up, and then we're going to disconnect our suction line from the pump, okay? Pop it out. There we go. Okay, and I've got me a little dummy hose here. This is just another quick connect with a short length of hose. We're going to pop that back into our suction side. All right, so right now what we just did is we just disconnected a whole of this plumbing. No tanks, no blend manifold, nothing. We're going to stick this hose into a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let's get it down in there. All right, and now let's fire the wand back up and see if we have any problems. And we won't, because I know what the problem is, but this is a good way that you can quickly isolate the issue. Now we're going to have an initial drop in pressure because it's priming back up. I can see it pulling all the air bubbles out of the line. It's a short hose, so it doesn't take very long. Oh, look at there. Okay, we are right back to spraying our 45-ish feet or whatever it is, you know. So, what do we do here? All you need, and you should probably have this stuff on your truck anyway, you most likely have a bucket somewhere. Get you a little piece of braided line, an extra quick connect. Now, like I said, if you've got the old style that screw in, you won't actually be taking the entire elbow or straight barb off. You'll be leaving that on the pump and just taking the hose off. Stick you another hose on there, pop the hose clamp back down. Bucket tests always tell us, hey, do I actually have a problem with any of this stuff, or is it back here somewhere? Now, let's say you do this, and just like we just got the result, everything's fine. What does that tell me? Well, I've got something over here that's pulling air, and I got to find out what that is. Let's say you do this and the problem still exists. It very well could be the pump. It could be a low battery condition that's not giving the pump enough juice. So then at least you know, do I need to start looking at these things over here or these things back here? Like I said, most of the time it's a very simple fix. It can be something as simple as one of these unions right here is a little bit loose. Okay, see how this works? It's a threaded down union on these ball valves, these metering ball valves. So if that has vibrated loose, they're just driving down the road, running, your pressure washer running, causing vibration. It may look fine, right? That looks just like everything else, but it could be loose right there and it's sucking air. So you got to find out where's the air getting in the system at. This is just an easy way to kind of get you started in the right direction. Guys, I hope that video helps. It's helped us a lot to be able to at least give us a starting point. We'll see you later.